Hello and a very good day everyone. So today we will learn on how we can create an exciting dashboard from this particular data. So let's get started. As you can refer over here, in this particular data we have a departments, and in each department they have the respective expenses followed by the actual expenses, the figures and also the type of expenses. So now what we are going to do is the first step is I put my cursor in the data and I press Ctrl A. The moment I press Ctrl A, you will notice that it selects or highlights the entire table. And then what we do is we go to Insert and we click Pivot Table. So basically, Pivot Table is a feature that summarizes, analyzes, and present data. So we are going to use Pivot Table so that it can summarizes this table over here. And then I press OK. So the moment I press OK, you will notice that we'll go to a new worksheet, and what I'm going to do is I want to put all the departments in the rows, and I want to tick the values so that the actual expenses become under the values. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the expenses under filter. Okay, so this is how the data looks like. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we are going to create an interactive chart or an interactive dashboard. Okay, so what I'm going to do is the first thing is I'm going to highlight all these. I'm going to press right click, I go to format cells, and I'm going to put it into accounting format. So accounting format, no decimal place and no currency, so that now this data looks cleaner and easy to interpret. The next step what I'm going to do is I just want to right click this number over here. You put your cursor here, right click, you go to sort largest to smallest, so that now it looks nice, beautiful. The next step is what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a pivot chart, and I want to choose a bar chart. Okay, a bar chart. So normally this is a very subjective thing. If you are using a column chart, it's better for you to use where on year or month on month comparison. But since we are making a comparison among the departments and division, it's really suggestible for you to use the bar, okay, the bar chart, because this is making a comparison among the departments. So I'm going to press OK. So now this is your data. But unfortunately, just now you sort largest to smallest, but now the data is presenting in an ascending order. This means it is presenting from the smallest to the largest. So how we can actually put it in a way that it is presents from the largest to smallest? Well, it's very simple. You need to put your cursor over here, or you select the y-axis and you press right click. So the moment you press right click, you go to format axis, and a format axis menu will appear on the right hand side. You scroll down, look for category in reverse order, and you tick. So now it looks better. So now you know that division A is the highest. And then you right click the fill button and you hide all, so that now your chart looks bigger. And what you do is you click on the chart element, remove legend, remove grid line, add data label, and now this looks nice. And maybe you can actually remove the y-axis. Okay, so now your data looks bigger. And of course I don't really need the chart title, so that we have more space actually. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to create a story. Okay, so I'm going to hide this. Okay, so I'm just going to press it over here. Okay, so this is your data, and then I'm going to go to pivot chart analyze. I'm going to click on insert slicer. I want to choose the expenses, so I press OK. So now we have these expenses, put the expenses over here, and this data over here I'm going to highlight this. Okay, so now we have this data over here. Now what I'm going to do is I want to make it interactive, I want to make it interesting. Okay, so what I'm going to do is maybe I'll just put it down. I want to create a sentence. That means just say for a particular expenses, so say like computer expenses. So for computer expenses, okay, you want to say that division A incur the highest expenses among other in the company, maybe. Okay, in the company. All right, so maybe you want to say highest expenses, maybe I'll just put here amounting to, and then RMXX million. Okay, so RMXX this value. Okay, so basically I want to write this particular sentence in this chart. That means when I click any, maybe just say employee salary, so the data shows okay, division A has the highest. So how I can actually put this? So what you can do is the first step is you can actually create a box. Okay, you can actually click this over here, and then you click insert, you go to illustration, shape, and we create the box. So I go here and I click a box over here. Okay, it's not too big, maybe as just a small one so will be fine. So this box over here. But now how to make it interactive? Well, we can use the if formula over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear filter and I'm going to press this. Okay, so I'm going to copy this and paste it over here. Equal if, so if all is equals to all. So if you know the if formula is either true or false. So if all is equals to all, then I put here overall expenses. Alright, so if you notice, this is a words or perkataan in Malay language. This is a words. So for words we use apostrophe. Why we use apostrophe? Because Excel cannot recognize words, it can only recognize numbers. Okay, and then I press comma and I press all and then close bracket. There you go. So now you have your overall expenses. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put this company here. Alright, so this is division A, so I'm going to put as A4, and over here I'm going to put as B4. So you have this, and of course this is the sentence that what I want to translate. So first thing is apostrophe for, and so for overall expenses, what's the next step is I'm going to press this, okay, and then a comma and then and. Okay, so I'm just going to select this and then and. Okay, incur the highest expenses amounting to RM, and then I'm going to put this as close apostrophe and. Alright, so this is the value and then and apostrophe in the company. Okay, so this is how it looks like. So if just say click here for food and beverages. So for food and beverages, division D, incur. Okay, maybe that's a spelling mistake. So incur, and I want to put a space over here. Okay, so now it looks better. For food and beverages, division D, incur the highest expenses amounting to 7189. Okay, and then if just say I click computer expenses. So for computer expenses, division A incur the highest expenses amounting to 8,000. Alright, so this is what I want to translate my data. Okay, so maybe I'll just put some tweak here. I just want to put tax formula and apostrophe, comma, apostrophe, and then hashtag, full stop, hashtag, and then apostrophe, and then close bracket. Okay, so maybe I'll just put here comma, so that looks good. Okay, so now it looks better, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some changes. I'm going to go here, equal, and I'm going to put it over here. Okay, so now this is the data. So if just say I click employee salaries, so for employee salaries, division A incur the highest expenses amounting to 8,000. So now we have created this. So let me do it in a very beautiful way so that your data looks nice. So let me put it up. Alright, so just go up, and I want to put my slicer at the top, and I want to put my chart at the top. Okay, so it looks nice, and I want to make it bigger so it hide all this. So now if just say I clear all filter, so with the moment I clear filter, it shows that for overall expenses, division A has the highest. Okay, so perhaps I just upkeep this. I will choose format this, do some cosmetic changes, and I remove the outline. So now you have this numbers. I make it into black color, so it's black writing, and I want to make it bold, and I want to increase the size so you can see the numbers. And this one I just want to put black again and bold. This thing over here, what I'm going to do is I want to make it at the middle, and then I just want to increase the size, and I want to make it as black color, and I want to make it as no fill, and I want to put a line of black color. Okay, and maybe I'll just put it bold. Okay, so now if just say I were to click office stationery, so for office stationery, division A has the highest by amounting of 5,014 ringgit in the company. If just say I click traveling allowance, so when a company has traveling allowance, so you notice that division C has the highest. So if just say I clear the filter, so you notice that for overall expenses, division A incur the highest. So basically this is how you can create a very exciting and interactive dashboard.